Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Last week I shared with you how to make a candy cane soap, and I'm preparing to make a second holiday themed soap, so I thought I'd bring you along and share with you the process. Over the last several years, I've scaled back on the amount of holiday themed soaps that I make, and that's for a couple different reasons. I'll get into that in the video as well, but I still like to offer a small quantity of 3 different variety holiday soaps. So today we're going to be making one with a Christmas tree embed, and I can't wait to share it with you all. All right, let's get started. All right, so in this bucket, I have a combination of palm oil, castor oil, coconut oil, shea butter, stearic acid, olive oil, and sweet almond oil. This is the same formula that I've been showing you the last several weeks, and I refer to it as the sweet potato and brown sugar cold process soap because that is the one that I shared sort of in the beginning of the fall over on my Patreon campaign. This is the same recipe as the sweet potato and brown sugar cold process soap. There's also a video tutorial to match that one as well. So if you are interested in the actual formula, head over to my campaign. There's so much over there to take advantage of, including this recipe and hundreds more. So what we're going to do is go ahead and mix up our lye and water solution with our oils and fats. And today, this is actually not quite room temperature. It's getting pretty chilly. We've had a pretty cold week here in Northern California. So I had prepared my lye and water solutions about a week ago. And so they just seemed like some of the hard oils were re-solidifying. So I warmed this back up. It's about 104 degrees, and my lye and water solution is room temperature, which is right around 72 degrees. So we're just gonna go ahead and mix this up to a light trace. Still haven't replaced my other stick blender, so I'm using this one today. This is the one I usually use for smaller batches of like lotion or smaller batches of gel creams and things like that. We're just going to go ahead and pour this in. I'm really putting off buying all of the things that I need. I'm waiting for some good Black Friday sales, to be honest. If I can hold out and wait till Black Friday to pick up especially the new computer that I need, then I'll feel a little bit better. There's just a lot of things adding up. I should have just been replacing them as they have been sort of wearing out. I should have just been replacing them one by one as they've been going out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and divide up this batch. So I am going to be pouring off probably a little more than half of the batter into this container here. We're making kind of like a landscape soap. So it's going to have some ground, it's going to have some sky, and it's going to have a tree. So this portion that I'm pouring off right here will be for the sky. So probably a little bit more than half the batter, because it's going to be also kind of the backdrop of the soap, of the design. And then from this container, I'm going to be pouring off a little bit. This will be an accent color for the sky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set these two aside for the moment. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and blend up. I have this pretty cool design. I hope this works out good. In my head. Sometimes I draw my soap designs out. Do you guys do that too? I like to make Pinterest boards of ideas. Usually I get my inspiration from fragrances. Like usually fragrances I smell will make a picture in my mind of what I want the soap to look like. And then I'll kind of put together Pinterest boards, and sometimes I draw it out. I'm not a very good sketch artist, but it just is nice to have the visual. Okay, this is going to be the ground, and it's going to be a snowy ground. So I'm just making this bottom layer white. Reserving the rest of the white to go into the sky or backdrop portion of the soap. Okay, and next I'm going to go ahead and add in my fragrance. So I am using Berry Merry Christmas by Nature's Garden, and I have not used this one before. I've done my research on all the soap notes, and it's supposed to behave really well in cold processed soap. I'm noticing right now that it's kind of a yellow color, so I hope that doesn't indicate that the soap is going to also turn a little bit of an off-white. It said no discoloration in the soap notes, but let me tell you, it smells amazing. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite holiday fragrances. It kind of smells like a holiday wreath, like a fresh holiday wreath, where it has like the holly berries and the greenery in it and a little bit of mistletoe and ivy. It's got a little bit of a menthol kind of top note to it, very subtle though. It's super good. The menthol, I mean, is very subtle. The fragrance itself is really strong and just puts you right in the mood for the holidays. So I am excited to be using this one. So we're going to go ahead and add a bit of this in here now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my titanium dioxide. I'll just make up a little bit more before I mix the other two colors. I love water-soluble titanium dioxide. It really does disperse through the soap evenly, and to me, I feel like it makes a brighter white, if that's what you're going for, than the oil-soluble titanium dioxides. And a little bit goes a long way. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pour this in, and I'm going to put a book under my mold. You guys have seen me do that a lot lately. It's just going to be about probably 1.5 inches of an incline, just to kind of give the illusion of a little bit of a variation in the landscape, a little bit of a hill. So I'm going to go this way so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm essentially just pouring in. I do this to you guys every week, huh? Where I look at the camera and I'm like, you can't see anything, and then I switch it back. I'm going to be pouring in the bottom here, but I'm also going to be taking a spoon and just giving it a little bit of a texture, so it doesn't just look like straight. So back to the reason why I don't make a ton of holiday soaps anymore, and I've talked about this I think before in previous videos when it comes to like fall themed and holiday themed soaps. Several years ago, probably like 2018, 19, 2020-ish, I feel like holiday themed soaps were a little bit more popular and trending, and I've found over the last several years that they don't sell as well for me as they used to. And that's totally a personal thing, you guys. And if they sell well for you, that's awesome. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm just talking strictly about what happens with my demographic. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some variation here in this is going to be the ground. So we're just putting in a little bit of, I have a tablespoon here, stainless steel tablespoon, that I'm just putting in some texture so it doesn't look like it's just a straight hill. But yeah, I've noticed over the last several years, probably 3 to 4 years, that holiday themed soaps for me, as cute as they are and as much as I love to make them, they just don't go very quickly on the website. And I've also noticed that the closer it gets to the actual holiday, the more they just kind of sit around. Like nobody really wants to be hanging on to a holiday soap after the holidays. And people kind of like what they like. So if you have a soap that's selling on your website very well, people will typically buy that regardless of the time of year. So that way, I think part of the reason for that is if they're giving it as a gift to someone, they want them to be able to feel like they can use it after the holidays. So I don't know, those are just some of my ideas. Let me know if that's what's also happening on your end if you sell soap. Okay, I'm putting in this Christmas tree embed. See that? So cute. It's a long rod and I have 2 little pieces here I'm going to put in, but I'm trying to find the correct spot for it. I think I want it to go right here. Perfect. The soap is perfectly set up for what I'm trying to do here. And it will hold the Christmas tree rod perfectly in place. And I could be wrong regarding why, because it was trending before. Like I used to be able to, I could make holiday soaps and they would sell very well several years back. And so I'm not sure, maybe just the tide has shifted a little bit. The trend on what is more popular versus what's not as popular has just sort of shifted. And so those things happen and you have to kind of roll with it. And you know, holiday themed soaps, as you guys know, are like my favorite. I love making holiday themed soaps, fall themed soaps, and I do still have people that look forward to that. So I do still offer it, just in smaller quantities than I used to. So there will only be a total of 45 bars of holiday themed soap this year. So that will be the candy cane one, and then this one, which smells so good. I tried to keep it just real traditional and simple, and tried to remember the things that have sold well for me in the past regarding holiday soaps, like my more popular ones, and that's what I brought back this year. So, okay, then the next thing we're gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and move this over to the side. So far, it's working out exactly how I had planned in my mind. You guys know how meticulous I can be sometimes with this stuff, so here in this portion, we're gonna make blue. This is gonna be a light blue, like a sky. And then this is gonna be, no, I take that back. This is gonna be a white. This portion in here is gonna be the light blue. And then that's gonna be the white. So I think I'm actually gonna pour a little bit back in here. I want it to be mostly blue with just a little bit of a white swirl going through it. Not so much. I don't want it to blend in with the snowy ground. I want it to be mostly blue with a white accent. So that's what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna add in this beautiful peacock blue. I'm gonna just add in a little bit of it. I don't want it to be this vibrant of a blue in there. So I'm adding in about that much. Probably about half a teaspoon, just a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and add in some more titanium dioxide to this one. Okay, and then adding in the rest of the fragrance. Okay, so I know that titanium dioxide can sometimes accelerate the soap a little bit, especially once you add the fragrance. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a stir by hand first. I want this part to be more on the fluid side when I pour it so that it goes nicely over the top. And it's important when you're doing like an in the pot swirl design, it's important that both soaps are the same texture. If one speeds up, like if this white speeds up and then I try to pour it into the blue, it becomes just a very chunky and spotty looking swirl, where I'm going for something that looks much more fluid and kind of just like a windy, wintry, blustery day. Okay. So I have to go white first so I don't mix that in. So I'm going to try to I'm going to turn this down low and try not to over blend. I'm going to stop right there. Move over to the blue. Go ahead and take a look at my white here, make sure it's not. Okay, this is perfect, ready to go in. So I need to get this one up a little bit more. Okay. They're not exactly the same texture, but they're pretty close. And if I wait much longer on this white, it's going to get thick. So this is going to have to do. So what we're going to do, yeah, this will be good. I'm going to go ahead and go from kind of up high and just pour it into different parts. This smell is so amazing. It's really good. And I'm just going to take my spatula and give it like a good once over in there. See, we're going to get a nice kind of swirl. Okay, now I can lay this flat because this is totally set up. And I'm going to carefully pour this guy. I'm going to go over here, over the top of the Christmas tree first, just to make sure that gets all the way covered up. This is going to look so pretty. And I'm going to have some leftover soap because this is my regular size batch here. And you have to account for the additional 6 or so ounces of that Christmas tree that's in there taking up real estate. Maybe able to get a little bit more, not too much. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and take a chopstick and swirl the top a little bit. Okay. I think I'm just going to go into like just like a little figure 8 on the top here. I may top this with a little bit of silver glitter. Ooh, that looks pretty already. All right, I have two different glitters here. One is a cute blue snowflake, kind of iridescent blue. I'm not sure it goes great with the blue that I've chosen on the top here, and I don't want it to detract from my soap, but let's go ahead and first top it with some silver and then see if we want to do that. I'm trying to think of what the inside's going to look like. I'm trying to imagine if I put the blue snowflake on top, what the overall soap is going to look like. The silver looks really good on the top of this. Really, really nice. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to add the blue snowflake. I think this silver color really complements the blue that I have, and I don't want to detract from it. So I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead. Of course, I would love to add more topping. Gosh, if I could get away with it, I would make so many more Christmas soaps, you guys. It's just so fun. One of my favorite things. And then I'm going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Going to give this a good spritz just to prevent soda ash. I don't want to ruin the top of this. If it gets soda ash, that wouldn't look very attractive. Okay, and there you have it. That is how you make a beautiful holiday soap. I hope that you stay tuned for the cutting. Can't wait to see what the inside looks like. All right, everyone, it's been about 24 hours and we're going to go ahead and cut this beautiful Christmas themed, holiday themed soap. And look at the swirls on this side. It's so pretty. I was actually really nervous we weren't going to get any swirling in there. I'm always nervous about that. Okay, so we're going to start on this side here. I'm going to cut these into 1-inch bars, and then I'll probably just clean up the end pieces by taking a little sliver off of them. Let's see what that looks like. Super excited. Oh, that's so pretty. So pretty and festive. So cute. So I'm glad I didn't go with the snowflakes on the top, but I'm loving that. Still a little bit on the soft side here. Okay. Very cute. I love how it looks like it's just sitting at the bottom of that little hill, the tree. All right, I'll go ahead and cut one more for you all. I will say I do think this fragrance smells really good after the soap is cured for 24 hours. But I do think that it did change this blue, and that might just be a little bit of a reaction with the Proud Peacock blue mica that I've used. It might not do that with all blues, but I think this combination of fragrance oil and blue mica powder morphed a little bit, but it's still a very beautiful blue. Usually this Proud Peacock blue is a little bit more of a vibrant, it's got a lot of teal hues to it. This is more of a light blue, baby blue, which is also okay. I'm okay with it. I just noted that it changed it a little bit. That's cute. Looks like a little snowdrift. All right, everyone, that's how you make a holiday themed soap. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please leave me some questions and comments below. That really means a lot to me, and share this video with a friend. All right, everyone, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.